CBS Atlanta News at 5.
Now to a consumer alert about child identity theft. How quickly would you know if your child's identity was stolen? Well, probably not until they applied for a credit card, probably in college. And by then, the damage could be done. Joe Mason wrote the book Bankrupt at Birth, while child identity theft is on the rise and how it's happening under parents' noses. Joe Mason joins us this afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Stephanie.
All right. How many kids is this affecting in this country?
So it's sometimes very tough to say. Last year, there were 142,000 reported cases of child identity theft, and the number is likely much higher. This year, a lot of experts believe there'll be about 10 million people who are victims of identity theft this year, and about a third of those will be kids, teenagers, and young adults. So it's a problem that's occurring right under parents' noses, and what I'm trying to do is raise awareness on what's becoming a very real problem.
Now, who is stealing a child's identity? Because you wouldn't think you could do much with it until, again, they apply for credit or have something in their name.
There are a variety of identity thieves and make-up changes. Some of it's organized crime, some of it's within the family, some of it's people who simply find information that they stumble upon and they use it to try to open accounts. So there's no kind of profile necessarily of an identity thief. It comes from a variety of places.
What are some of the warning signs that parents should be looking for?
A few things to think about. So one is, before you throw out all the junk mail, make sure that some of that junk mail doesn't have a unsolicited credit card offer, for example, with your child's name on it. So any sort of mail that looks suspicious is a red flag. Any phone calls that you receive about your child from a collection agency or someone else that feels suspicious is also a red flag. Where a lot of parents identify the problem, as you pointed out in the opening, is when they go either apply for a loan or try to get a cell phone for their child, and they realize that they're not going to be issued the cell phone because the child already has a damaged credit history. And that because child's identities are so appealing to identity thieves, they go years sometimes before they're detected in some of the examples I just pointed out.
And the damage is done, like
Correct.
we mentioned. I'm sure that this is social media has really caused this for the most part, or at least caused a huge upswing in it, because our children are online. They're sharing information.
They are.
What should they and should they not be sharing online?
Well, as a society, we share too much. And what they shouldn't share online out of the gate is their social security number in any way, shape, or form, particularly in a social setting. So social security number coupled with personal information about them, whether it's their address, date of birth, things that help an identity thief or a stranger identify who they are, they should avoid. What parents should do is they should really talk to their kids about the risks that exist through social media. And oftentimes we teach our kids not to post things that may come back to haunt them, but instead what we also need to teach them is to not post anything that could jeopardize their identity when it's time to turn 16 or 18 years old and move to a different life stage.
When you have your child on your plan, say on your cell phone plan, do you think that that makes you more of a target for identity thieves as well, if they're looking for children to sort of pull out of families?
It's a good question, not necessarily, because most of those plans would be in your name, not the child's name.
I see.
So it's difficult for a thief to get the information that they need to take advantage of your child's identity through that example.
Joe Mason, thank you so much. The book, Bankrupt at Birth, While Child ID Theft is on the Rise, and how it's happening right under parents' noses. We appreciate your expertise today.
Thank you.
Thank you.